enjoying what we have on offer, best way to do so
My water.
is by clicking the like button on the Triton YouTube channel. While you're at it, clicking subscribe to ensure that you don't miss any of what we have on offer here in the highest stakes poker tournaments on earth.
You know, we reached the 400,000 subscriber mark this trip.
It's a pretty big milestone, if I'm being honest. Just the thought that that many people worldwide, because genuinely that is our audience, are a part of our family and supporting us is humbling and flattering. Meanwhile, humbled will be this King-Jack Open in short order as Wang Ye has 2 aces, unless, of course, he decides to get cute, Randy.
I like a 3-bet to like $1 million. Try to entice JNT to continue.
Just a touch north of that.
King suited. Ah, this is the end of Mateos. There's nothing he can do. He's always going to go for it.
And he's supposed to.
Yes.
Look at Wang Ye looking over like, what was that?
Like, seriously, buddy? Okay. Goodbye.
King-Jack easily folds, and difficulty on the horizon for Mateos as he gazes off into the distance, well aware of his plight. A 9-1 dog heading to the flop. Hard to be worse in 2-card.
At least he's suited. It's going to be his best opportunity to down to aces.
10.5 million chip pot. It would be so improbable for Mateos to be finding the exit prior to Parsonen and Wong Yang. King high board with a diamond. Some perspiration. Can we find added sweat on the turn? We cannot. And an added king will be the only escape for El Conquistador. ¿Hay un rey en el río? No. Una reina. And it's hasta la vista to Mateos.
I'm a little sad, and I'm shocked.
I'm a lot sad, and honestly, he deserved better. I know we need to be careful with that word in particular when it comes to poker. These high rollers, they generally don't like to go that direction. But I think when you consider the body of work that he turned in, the spots that he put himself in, this was just a deck that had other ideas than a Spanish victory on the day.
Right. He got in trip 8s against 6s, turned to 6 here. Ultimate cooler of ace king suited. He played well. He's just the first one out. 495,000 for you, Mateos.
A flood of GGs entering the chat. He is really top class. Arguably one of the best to ever do it. Adrian Mateos. And he did it right up until 9th place, but couldn't do it any further than that. No fault of his own. You're going to catch some people's attention in your local poker room, rocking Triton merch, I can tell you that. People always catch mine whenever I see them out in Las Vegas. I'm like, you really paid the shipping? I'm just kidding.
Wow. You're really good at reading off the paper that's destroyed from your bubble tea the other day.
Yeah, that's, you know, I had to wing it that time. Meanwhile, Fritz going to take flight here on the wings of Black Kings.
Pocket deuces. Not going to play. It's actually harder to set mine at final tables like this because even if you hit a set, your opponents don't tend to pay off for full stack as much as they play a lot more passive lines.
Cool.
JNT's in there, 6-5 suited. It's a hand that can crack some overpairs and will be very well disguised.
Queen, queen, 8 and 2 clubs You see JNT looking up to verify that he has picked up this flush draw. Fritz has picked up a good customer for his kings, especially given he holds the king of clubs. Stage is set for Manuel to continue to accumulate after sending a package Wang Ye's way moments ago. 300 the follow through. JNT just calls. I'd like to see the conservative approach out of him here. Now he picks up a gutter to go with the flush draw.
Right. Because if he just had the naked 6-high flush draw, you probably just check folds to the turn bet. But when you pick up the additional outs, it's very enticing.
Well, I think sizing may have a little something to do with what he decides. And if you're Fritz, what do you come with into 2 million?
Towards a half potish range, because you don't want to scare out 8X that has very little equity, right? They would need to hit an 8 to beat you.
1.2 north of half.
Envisioning the 7.
That's the clean one. What's JNT cutting out here? That looks like more than 1.2 in orange. Okay, no, he had some chips in his other hand. So he'll get some change on the 1.5. He's stuck out there, and he's going to take a swing at these 2 kings. 25% equity, and all he comes up with is a 6. Checks quickly. You think Fritz ever assigns a queen to JNT as played?
I think it's possible. I actually wouldn't fault him for checking back kings in this spot.
Tough to identify the one that pays you.
Yeah, and 8X usually isn't looking to call down 3 barrels anyways. I like a check back, to be honest.
5 seconds.
Just in case you're getting slow played against, but he thinks the 8X would call off. In this case, it's a pair of 6s, but very similar.
Okay.
JNT recognizing the jam does cover him, and I don't know that he's going to have an appetite for heroism for his tournament life with nothing more than queens and 6s here, especially when he holds clubs.
That's very true. Holding clubs means you block some of the combos you're trying to pick off. I think he's put enough resistance. He certainly can have Queen X in his range that would check call, and slow play. Is he thinking about it? Oh, he's calling, and JNT is gone, and amazing value bet Fritz. He got it all.
Wow, and you see a little wince there on Wang Ye's face.
He did not believe. He didn't think it was up against a queen. It was just pocket kings around the corner.
He fought hard and valiantly across the better part of 2 days. But ultimately, our elder statesman here at Triton, Mr. Main Event as we call him, unable to make it any further than an 8th place finish. And boy, that's going to catapult Manuel Fritz as we see JNT's buddy Fred on hand to escort him. Stage director Tom's doing a little housekeeping. $597,000 going to JNT. So beloved by all who are here at Triton, and so, you know, admired and respected for the fact that at his age, Randy, he is not short in the tooth. He's still able to come out here, turn in the long days of poker, and do so enjoyably. And posting results.
He's posting results. Like you said, he is Mr. Main Event. Got a second in 2023 London in the main event. Got second in Jeju 2024 in the main event.
How about half an hour?
Seems okay.
That's good, yeah. Fine. Everyone okay with that?
Sure, but I guess the TV has to decide this as well, right?
We can ask for it.
If all, everyone agrees, would it be possible to get a 30-minute break?
This first or
Next.
Maybe next, yeah.
Yeah, so this break will be a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
And then later on
Cool.
we'll do a 30-minute. Perfect.
Okay.
I'm not playing 25K no matter what today. Are you gonna play it? If I, yeah, if you have, that's fine. Like, there is a flight tomorrow as well.
Ace,
I know,
ace for
but
Pedro.
it would be nice to
Folded
try.
around to his button.
I think they won A, they won much.
You could see worlds in which presumptions are made about this man leaning on our blinds. If Reuter and Yang.
Brazilian Airlines.
Won't be
I don't think it's Brazilian Airlines. I do think, however, that Wong Yang might be pulling back on the yoke here, but a crash landing is going to be all that's in his future in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Sad face.
Close or
Ace 9 jam, snap, 7.3 in the middle, and Padilla could catapult even further up with 6 remaining, unless Wong Yang finds magic.
that money.
Can equities be worse? Hard to make a straight face 9.
Yeah, I think
Similar.
if you know call, I maybe for maybe
Makes sense. Right? Yeah.
Jack 5-5, King 5-5. Doesn't matter.
Needs another 5 and another 5.
Yeah, that's one way. And
这个有没有
the
后门？我
three will seal
半天好
Wong
像没
Yang's
后
fate. Running nines would have done the
有
trick,
2个9了，
If you fold it.
这没办法。
but he did find some ladders, Randy.
He did.
Gonna leave behind his compatriot Wang Ye to carry the flag all by himself, as he's gonna carry his belongings off the stage.
Dropping plans.
7th place effort.
10 might be better than King Jack.
Shortest stack at the time that he went broke, 813,000. After 3 days of poker, not so bad.
Not so bad given that in 11 remaining, he was pretty much a short stack for throughout this feature today.
Yeah, you're right. Scrappy performance turned in, and one that continues. Find the good spots.
Yeah. They don't have to be the best spots, but you don't want them to be poor and murky. Dark alleys are places you should avoid.
Yeah. I mean, as Bruce Wayne's parents found out in Gotham.
Yeah, that's right. They got gunned down, didn't they?
I don't know how, but it didn't end well for them. Parsonen with ace queen, and now look at Fritz, the gods perhaps smiling upon him immediately for the discipline shown with the 2 8s, rewarding him with these 2 kings in a much nicer setup here.
5 seconds.
Now he gets to be the 3-better, 1.65. Pedro will sit it out, and it comes back over to Eelis.
This is what we call an annoying spot because you feel like you gotta continue. You've got ace queen, you've got a big stack 3-betting against you, and then again you're looking around. There's 2 other stacks that are rather shallow. You can never fault him for 4-bet ripping, expecting fold equity, because Fritz will have 3-bet folds with ace rags, king X, stuff like this. He's going for it, and he's going to see the bad news.
Yeah, just verifying that the Cowboys are saddled up, and we are off to the races. 12-6-5 in the middle. Parsonen did have a couple of smaller stacks than his own in Clemens Reuter and Wang Ye, ever so slightly for the latter, but this just a spot where he felt like the ace-queen was adequately performing as a jam. Unfortunately, he runs into top of range from Fritz. And doesn't find an ace. 2 tugs at it. Queen works hard. Has a heart. Could be some naughty wheelie.
Could be.
3-4 things.
Pointy top would be ideal. That's not it.
No. Nina is of no use. And now only the needle will spare Parsonen. 3 outs 1 time. In a massive one. And it's not there. GG's, says Parsonen. Out in 6th. And while obviously that is something to be focused upon, on the flip side of it, how about Fritz catapulting?
2-chip lead.
1.1 million for Eelis. In not his A game, not the variant of choice.
Oh, but I think he played his A game in the Hold'em.
Oh yeah, it's not like he brought the B game. No doubt about it. He brought the A jacket.
He did bring the A jacket.
Plenty in chat took note of it as well. I'll tell you what, $1 million scores are a way to build out that wardrobe because it ain't cheap.
Nope. And actually was his second cash of the festival.
That jam pre-flop in the blinds.
This table has been a marvelous exercise in demonstrating the importance of having ICM fundamentals and then also illustrating the impact of not only having those fundamentals, but having some of that gamble, some of that risk tolerance to maybe exploit or deviate from time to time.
That's true, because we have seen characters just go after it, like Wang Ye, like Ponikov's, Pedro as well. Even that well-timed King 7 from Manuel Fritz just now. A6 is gone. Deuces for Pedro on the button. I think he jams this one. He's just out. Things are different now when you're no longer top 2 stacks.
He's looking at Reuters 5-7. He's looking at the 400K ladder, and he's just respecting the ICM.
Ace King. And good timing to not jam 2s, because you could be at risk, because Ponikov's was never folding Ace King.
And it would have been Reuter who would have mucked and potentially enjoyed this ladder. Instead,
3 spades?
Pedro's choice could be validated.
No?
Good luck.
12.2
You know what they say,
million
Clemens.
chip
Always
collision.
counting 7.
That's true.
Jack 10-3, and the climb
Queen of
grows
spades.
very steep and uphill for Clemens. Roots for the Queen of Spades for some sweat. Instead, a board pairing Jack leaves him hunting only a 7 to keep 5-handed gridlock alive. Surely it's coming. No, but it would have been deuces full for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
And at long last, some of the permafrost thaws. And unfortunately for Clemens Reuter, it is he who is evicted from the premises in 5th. Quite a bit of fortune, though, to add to his career Triton earnings. First title not going to be his here today, but nearly $1.5 million will be. I'll tell you what, I don't remember a moment where I looked up at the screen and thought, what's Reuter doing? He just operated solidly and made the most of his opportunities.
He got 1.45 million for his efforts.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We're going to get that war of attrition. Here comes the raise from Ponikov's. Wang Ye, though, he's not afraid. He's rejamming. And he's, you know, saying, Pedro and Manuel, why don't you guys battle it out at the bottom?
Putting a little distance. But this is the Donkey Kong hammer coming from Pontikos. We've seen it before, Randy.
Yeah, the Donkey Kong hammer. I get that reference.
You played enough video games growing up.
Last place for Pedro. Just by a little bit. Threes, yep. Snap all in. I mean, this is what we're going to see. Ace-Jack. It's calling, right? If Wang Ye snap called Ace-7 offsuit not too long ago, how does he not call Ace-Jack? Taking a look at the chip counts. 1.865 guaranteed, 2.3 if he can hold on. And he's going to go for it against the pocket threes.
Pontikov's ever so slightly the favorite. And Wang Ye is wondering, how on earth am I behind here when I know Alex is probably mashing
33 bigs.
with all sorts of combos.
33 bigs with 3-3. And Masato turned 33.
Yeah.
Are we going to lose another passenger?
Yesterday. And he got in ace-3 again.
This is a
No, king
pivotal
queen against
pot.
ace-3.
Oh.
And it's a set of threes for Pontikovs. Wang Ye can only chop with running 5-6. And it ain't going to happen.
GG, man.
Grimacing, but hopefully not due to any decision making. Pontikov's reassuring him absolutely not. A fold with the ace-jack. So all of a sudden, virtually back-to-back bust-outs here. Wang Ye did find that ladder though, Randy. 1.865 million for the fourth place effort, and he hasn't seen that cell phone in a long time. As he heads over to the payout desk.
I want to give him so much respect. Like, he gave us two very memorable hands. You know, first he bluffed with the king-6 offsuit, but it was all about that jam with the ace-9 to get Pontikov's folding at ace-4. Looks like Fritz is going to have to build his own stack because clearly Pedro's not going anywhere, given he's chipped up to 28 bigs.
All in.
Ace-5 stuffs it. Fritz has found ace-queen suited and a great opportunity to double. Blind versus blind. Straightforward stuff on your screen. 14 million. Again, a big pot being played by Alex, and you can see he's a bit demoralized. Couldn't leverage the ICM against Pedro. And now he's dominated by Fritz. Is it coming apart for the Latvian?
Yeah, but this is just a cooler off of these stacks. Small blind versus big blind. See if he can get lucky.
Yes, he can. As he's found the 5 and leaves Fritz tugging at a queen for the lead, a 4 for a chop. No club coverage. Board pairing 3. And it's down to 3 outs. 1 time for the double. 4 outs for a carve up. And it's not going to happen.
Good luck, guys.
Fritz gave it all he had, Randy.
Good luck, man.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, top 3 in the main event for $2.3 million. He should be proud.
We're just going to take a short break while we prepare the
Tell you what, as many impressive options as Austria provides the high-stakes poker community in terms of rooting interests, add Manuel Fritz to the mix. Based on the performance here today, which I absolutely think is worthy of top honors. Not so sure anybody was going to find a different outcome. Randy, just giving card distribution. Process it a little bit differently, for lack of a better way to put it. And look at the processing here. Pontikov's a limp with 9s. Pedro with an ace-9.
Chips are going to find its way into the middle.
Oh my goodness, Pedro was jammed, and The trap has been set. What a wonderful spot here for Panakovs. It could be over in a hurry. No critique of the ace-9 jam, I would imagine here, Randy.
Nope, he's value jamming, and of course the 9's is trapping. Dodge the ace, and we have a champion.
Well, we're 5 cards removed from being able to place the crown atop the head of Alex.
Here's the moment.
No ace in sight. And now within grasp is the extra large trophy, the gold bracelet, and the near 5 million for Alex. Can Pedro find the ace from space? Not on the turn. As you see everybody running up to the stage in an effort to be on hand for what might be the moment. Can the Brazilians will a needle onto this river, or is it going to be Alex Panakov's time? %, to claim his first title. Calls for us. And that's it.
He's done it.
It was quick.
Big, big smile. Finally. Champ.
You know, you didn't see it because it wasn't physically there, as you see his love. So proud of him, but there was a real monkey on Alex's back, Randy. And he got it off. Meanwhile, for Pedro, what an incredible first ever Triton Festival. Getting love from Luca. Producer James on hand for a tip.
Still, though, I mean, good performance for Pedro. He should be proud.
Luca proud of him, without question. You know, I confess that it was a little bit emotional for me to just watch it happen.